First off, I apologize for the terrible audio and terrible video which you are about to just watch. But the subject of the video is interesting, trust me. So I wanted to make a macro like this to help me write CSS. I figured that should format to some good CSS, and that would make just writing CSS in Rust better. So I wanted something like that. And I didn't know how to do that, but what I did know did something similar is the Surday's JSON macro. So I looked that up, and it's a recursive macro, which I think is very cool. So the macro just actually calls JSON internals so that other libraries can interface with that, I believe Rocket. Very grateful for that. Anyway, so here we have the JSON internals, and this macro calls itself. So mine's easier to explain on example because it's a lot more simple. But this is a very cool macro and a really cool way of parsing JSON. So I highly suggest you look at that source code. It's pretty cool. But right here in ours, I'll just go over a couple iterations of it. So first thing, we've got the code input, and that's not going to match for any of these rules because we don't have a identifier at the start. So it's going to go straight down to this rule, which creates that identifier we'll be matching for. It's a new string, and it recursively calls itself. The rest is just everything else in there. And that will be the case for each one of these. So this one up here, it doesn't match for. It's not the correct format. That's for this one. But here, this matches for this. So we format that string with the stringified version of that variable. And we call ourselves again. So we've matched for that string. We've matched for the identifier and value and the comma. And the rest contains everything else. So we're calling ourselves with everything else plus the string which we added our values onto. Next, it's going to match for this one, and it's going to do that for these two as well. So we match for that one 3 times, and now we don't have anything else to match for. So this won't match, and this won't match, but this still will because we still have that string in there. So this, we trim the string and return it. And there you go. You have a recursive macro. And you can match for different rules for each line or each set of the expression. And I just think that's really cool. So I wanted to make a video about it. So here you go. I know this is done by other things as well. I expect these HTML macros do just that. But yeah, I thought that was awesome. And now I'm off to creating my own crappy CSS framework. So thanks for watching. Have a good night. I'm going to bed.